thing. How can we have a torn down neighborhood and then say we from the hood, as that's some type of endearment? But the neighborhood we live in is destroyed. Those are the things people say that don't have a heritage or a history of their own, or aware of their history.
Matthew chapter 12, verse 25. And Christ knew their thoughts and said unto them, every kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation.
So every kingdom that is divided is destroyed. The reason why we are the lowest of all nations right now is because we're divided. I guarantee you, you put 5 brothers and sisters together, and they in all different parts of religion. You got one that's a Muslim. You got one that's Buddhist. You got one that's in Christianity, and you know that about 80,000 denominations of that. How you doing, brother? Good, good. You had a question?
Like one scholar said, that you got to talk to the bank president. And the bank president told her.
So everybody can hear you. Yeah.
The bank president told her, all that you have said is true. But my biggest question about everything, even though you stand here, what are we going to do about it?
The brother asked, say that one more time.
All that's been said, what are we going to do about it?
All right, the brother said, all that we've been saying here, what are we going to do about it? Well, what we're going to do about it is what we're doing right now, awareing our people of the Bible. And understanding that nothing for our community itself is going to do anything outside of the Bible. Because we tried every carnal way. You know, we have men that tried to lead us, and it still failed. But we got to know and understand that there's a spiritual aspect to all the nations. Give me Psalms 96, because we don't know our spirituality and know that there's something that's keeping us down spiritually. Because if you look at it, we're the strongest, we're intelligent. Everybody's taking our inventions, our wisdom, and use it for themselves, but we can't use it for one another. And there's something that's not in the physical that we can see that tells us that why we can't get it together. It's something that we don't see. And also give me Ephesians 6, spiritual high places. Yeah. Because we don't know our spirituality and know that that's the real thing too. So we look at everything in front of our faces and say, well, we have a solution for it. But when that solution doesn't work, we're like, oh, what's next? But we got to understand and know that the Bible is our book. And we understand and know if we don't follow the commandments of the God of this Bible, we're going to continue to be destroyed as a people. All right, give me Psalms 96.
Psalms chapter 96, verse 4. For the Lord is great and greatly to be praised.
So we praise the Most High, the God of this Bible. Keep reading.
He is to be feared above all gods.
So he is to be feared above all gods. So let's let you know that there's multiple gods besides the Most High. Keep reading.
For all the gods of the nations are idols.
Read that again.
For all the gods of the nations are idols.
So we know and understand that all the nations outside of our nation are idols. So we know that there's a God that runs each nation, or is the head of each nation. So all the other nations, you've got Europeans, you know, they follow their God. They have all their different holidays they represent, and you know, they're really emphatic on representing their God and the way they worship their holidays. Now a lot of them may not know that they have a God over their nation, but we know just from the scriptures. All right? All right, you got it?
Oh yeah, Ephesians, yeah.
So we're going to go to the spiritual aspect that a lot of our brothers and sisters don't know or aware of, that why we're struggling today.
The book of Ephesians chapter 6, verse 11. Put on the whole armor of the Most High, that ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual weakness in high places.
So this is what we have to understand as a people. Every other nation, those who are like the president, those who have all the money, the what they call the 1%ers, all of them, they go to a higher, they worship their God. And give me Job 9:24, because we have to understand that as long as they're going to worship their God, they're hands down with who they're going to roll with. And see, as a people, we just roll with anybody. You know, something new come out, oh, I'm going to try this. I'm going to try to not understanding to know that whatever they try is going to fail because they don't know their history. You know, a lot of the great men, like Marcus Garvey, even Malcolm X, a lot of they were more spiritual. Frederick Douglass. If you look at a lot of their speeches, it's based on the Bible with the understanding they used to relate everything to the children of Israel, that their suffering, the people of the Bible and their suffering were the same, and understanding to know, hey, there's got to be something to this. If the people of this book are suffering the same curses that our people suffer each and every day.
Job chapter 9 verse 24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked.
So we know who that wickedness is. We know that's Satan. We know he is the prince of all these things that's going on in our communities, or what we see on TV each and every day, or how on fashion, everything. Go ahead, brother.
Here's an old saying. The devil's sitting on the park bench. He's crying. And the kid walk up to the devil, say, why are you crying? Say, ain't you the devil? Say, yeah, I'm the devil. Say, but you crying, you got all the power. He said, no, I don't. It's the only power I have is what God gave to me. I don't have no power. So all I'm saying is, the devil have no power. God has all power. He's surrendering unto the devil to go out to the land and see who he can devour. But he ain't got no power. He ain't got nothing. He's operating on the Most High. It's in all of us. So all I'm saying is, get back to the question I said, what are we going to do about it? I went to a church with a friend of mine, and as we going through his church, we meeting other members. And everybody say, hey, praise God, hallelujah, and everything. And as we walking through, everybody stopping, praise God. You know what it came to mind? Not to offend anyone. It sounded like all of them were saying, Heil Hitler. Heil Hitler. Went into a room full of mans. They're in there exchanging ties. I said, hold up, brothers. We got a war outside. And y'all in here fellowshipping and changing ties. I see a room full of mans up in here. We got a war out here. We got a war. What all this war? We in the battle, man. And again, all I'm saying is, what we gonna do about it?
Go ahead. All right, so the brother continues to ask, what are we going to do about it? We're going to go with Isaiah 58:1.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 58, verse 1. Cry out loud, spare not, lift up thy voice like a trumpet.
So that's the first part of making a difference. It's coming out here. Keep reading.
And show my people their transgressions.
That's the next part. So if our people don't know what they're doing wrong, and if we're not out here telling them, then we're not going to get a change from that. So that's the first part of what's to do about it. It's coming out here and letting our people know that there is a voice for them, and letting them know and understand what that voice from the Most High is telling them to do. All right, keep reading.
Let me read that again. Cry loud, spare not, lift up thy voice like a trumpet, and show my people their transgressions, and the house of Jacob their sins.
So that's the first part, because we just read in Ephesians, it's the spiritual part of it. Is that if we don't serve the Most High, then that's the key part. Is we have to come back to serving him. And if we don't serve him, then whatever we try to do, it's not gonna work. Give me Acts 5:33-39. All right, what you have, Bob?
Jeremiah chapter 16 verse 10. And it shall come to pass, when thou shalt show this people all these words, and they shall say unto thee, wherefore hath the Lord pronounced all this great evil against us?
So people are asking, man, why are we suffering out here? Just like you saying, it's a war. Why does it seems like we can't get ahead as a nation? We got some that so-called get out of the hood. We got some that are successful, but we don't have a nation that's successful. And we do have people who ask every day, man, why can I catch a break? Keep reading.
Or what is our iniquity?
So what are we doing that's wrong? We just read it in Isaiah 58. We're coming out here to tell you what's wrong. Why you're not getting together. Why you're not successful. Why you have other nations coming in and selling us whatever they want. And we just continue to buy from them. Keep reading.
Or what is our sin that we have committed against the Lord our God?
So all these are questions that you had, I've had at one time until I understood and knew who I am. Everybody has that question. There's no one that can't say that, man, why my family, why can't I have that? Or why can't I be able to go on a nice trip or enjoy my time? Why I have to suffer and be broke all the time? These are questions that we ask all the time to ourselves. Keep reading.
Verse 11. Then thou shalt say unto them, because your fathers have forsaken me.
And that's where it goes to. Our fathers, even in modern time, because I'm a child from just a one parent home. Our fathers today have forsaken us, and our fathers back then have forsaken us. That's why we in this predicament today, because the men didn't step up and do what they were supposed to do. If the men would have followed the law, statutes, commandments, then our nation wouldn't be divided, because that's what it's based off on.
Hey, give me Ezekiel 38 in the last verse.
And that's the reason. So you're asking me what we're going to do about it. Is we just explain to you, we come out and tell people what the issue is and give them the solution, which is this word, and following it as a guiding light in order for us to get back as a community. Because actually, give me the 10 Commandments. Because if we have standards amongst ourselves, if we have a code, but like between me and you, we have a code that I'm not going to rob you, you're not going to take advantage of me, then that's how we build. Right. Because then we build a trust with one another. And then if we do it, then other men that's around us do it, then that'll start affecting everybody.
Right.
Because nothing's going to happen until our men wake up. A nation is led by men. It's not led by women in the household. It's not led by anybody. It's not led by men of another nation. It's our own people that's got to be able to do it. And we've got to make sure we let those people know who take advantage of our people, which a lot of, like you said, the pastors, they passing around tithings after they've done a sermon and do our people no good. And we got all these shysters out here that want to lead our people astray. Once we take care of them and bring forth righteousness according to the Most High, we have a standard amongst ourselves, then that's how we take care of the problem. Give me Ezekiel
38, the last verse. The last verse.
No.
Oh, 34.
Yep.
The book of Ezekiel, chapter 34, verse 31. And ye my flock.
So we're the Most High's flock. Keep reading.
The flock of my pastor are men.
Say that again.
The flock of my pastor are men.
All right. So the Most High's flock is men. This flock is, so we know that the Most High is the shepherd, and we're his sheep. And his flock, men is in his flock. That's who he looks after. That's who he gives his word to, his men.
And I'm your God, said the Most High.
Read that again.
Read it. Verse 31. And ye my flock of my pasture are men, and I am your God, said the Most High.
So we know that the only way we're going to get out of this condition if the men step up. And that's why you see all these brothers out here of all different ages. You know, because we woken up into understanding to know that the only way we're going to get our men back in the community is to have a code, which is this Bible.
That's right.
There's nothing else. There's nothing else out there. We follow just the 10. We're going to go through some. Then we'll know and understand that our community, a block, can be transformed if we follow according to the word of the Most High.
Exodus chapter 20 verse 1. And God spake all these words, saying, I am the Lord thy God, which I brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage.
So we know and understand that the Most High is telling us that he brought us out of bondage, our people from before, our ancestors. He brought us out of slavery. All right, keep reading.
Thou shalt have no other gods before me.
That's the first thing. In order for us as men to come together is to realize that there's only one God to be served, and that's the God of this Bible, and we should have nothing else before him. Money, women, drugs, our jobs, our own, sports, nothing should come before him but his laws, statutes, commandments. Keep reading.
Verse 4. Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image.
So we should not worship anything. We shouldn't be worshiping, we shouldn't have anything that resembles idol worship, like money, like anything like you see in like Catholic churches, these idols, like a cross, people wear. That cross doesn't represent the resurrection of Christ, because the Most High is not about death, he's about life. So that cross represents his death. And a lot of people don't understand that's a slap to the face of the Most High when you represent his son dying on a cross. That's what that cross means. It don't mean anything holy about it. It just represents his death. It doesn't represent his life. Keep reading.
Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image, or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth.
So we shouldn't worship anything. You know how a lot of these people have on their bumper stickers, that little fish, save Jesus? That's actually a Greek idol worship of a fish god, I think, I'm not mistaken. Dagon, that's actually in the scriptures. Yeah, Dagon, who's a half man, half fish. People don't know that. But that's why the Most High said don't use any idols, nothing. No animals, nothing to represent him. Keep reading.
Verse 5. Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them. For I, the Lord thy God, am a jealous God.
So we know the Most High don't want his glory. He's not going to share his glory with no one else. The Most High wants us to serve him and only him. You have these different religions, like say for instance, like Islam. They worship a stone. A lot of people don't even know that. They worship a stone. They call it QAHALA stone. A lot of people in all these different other religions, people don't understand they have an idol attached to them. We just read that in Psalms 96. Keep reading.
Sorry. Verse 5. Visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children until the third and fourth generation of them that hate me.
So when the Most High says when somebody hates them, that means that they're not keeping his commandments. That's the same thing as hating the Most High to him. If you don't follow what he tells you to follow, you basically hate him. Keep reading.
Verse 6. And showing mercy unto thousands of them that love me and keep my commandments.
All right, so those who keep his commandments love him. That's how the Most High shows love. Give me 1 John 5 and 3. Because a lot of people don't understand what the love of God is. They just think like you just saying, praise Jesus. They think just saying that, or I'm covered, is love. They don't understand that just how relationships work. If you have a wife, I got a wife. When you're in a relationship, you have to know what the other person loves, right? So we're going to find out what the Most High loves, or how we know we love the Most High.
The book of 1 John chapter 5, verse 3. For this is the love of God, that we keep his commandments, and his commandments are not grievous.
So that's the love of the Most High. So,
Give me when it says you a liar if you say you love him.
so basically, if someone is saying that they love the Most High, guess what? They got to be keeping these commandments that this brother's reading right here. That's the only way you can vet someone and say, hey, if they truly are following the Most High. That's how you can vet a church, a pastor, and anybody who say they love Christ, by if they're keeping the commandments. You got
The book of 1 John 2 and 4. He that said, I know him, and keepeth not his commandments,
So someone who says that they know the Most High but don't keep his commandments, keep reading,
is a liar.
What?
Is a liar.
they are a liar.
That's right.
Read that again.
Verse 4. He that said, I know him, and keepeth not this commandment, is a liar, and the truth is not in him.
And the truth is not in them. So basically, anybody who said they're Christian and they're not keeping the commandments of the Bible are lying. And the truth is not in them. So that's twofold. So that's another part of understanding that why we're out here. Because if people don't know and understand that following Christianity, going to church on Sunday, which is an abomination as well, because the Most High Day is today, and not understanding that, then as watchmen, we're not doing our job, letting them know why they're suffering, why their God is not hearing their prayers. Because a lot of us pray to the Most High, pray to God, pray to Christ, and not realizing and understanding why their prayers are not being answered. It's because they don't love the Most High, because they're not keeping his commandments. Keep reading. Oh, what you got?
20, 30.
Okay.
Isaiah chapter 30, verse 8. Now go write it before them in a table, and note it in a book, that it may come for the time forever and ever, that this is a rebellious people.
A rebellion. So you know our people. So we know and understand that a lot of times when you want to do what's right and talk to an individual, you have a hesitation sometimes, right? Because you know if you say something that they don't agree with, they get all upset, right? That's rebellion. People, someone who rebels, just like a child rebels when they don't receive instruction. Keep reading.
Rebellious people, lying children, children that will not hear the law of the Lord.
So this is what, to the Most High, we're his children. So even though we may consider ourselves adults, things like that, to the Most High, we're just children. So as an adult, as a parent, if our children don't listen, the parent has the issue, just how the Most High, our Father, has the issue with us not listening. Keep reading.
Verse 10, which say to the seers, see not, and to the prophets, prophesy not unto us right things, speak unto us smooth things.
So that's in the church today. They don't want their leaders telling them what they should be doing, because they like doing what they're doing. That's why the neighborhoods look the way they do. They want to hear what they call smooth things. They want to hear about them being able to prosper financially. They want to hear the things that they deem is what they need, instead of with the word that's going to actually give them the benefits. Keep reading. Is that it? Okay. Go back to the commandments.
Exodus chapter 20, verse 7. Thou shalt not take the name of the Lord thy God in vain, for the Lord will not hold him guiltless that taketh his name in vain.
Basically, you're doing something using the Most High's name. So if you're taking the name of the Most High, vain means not for profit. It doesn't profit anything. It's worth nothing. So if you're taking the Most High's name in vain, saying that, hey, on the Most High, I'm going to do this for you, and you don't follow through on it, you're just taking his name in vain. Because you said you're going to do something because you had a faith in the Most High, but then you still don't do it. Basically, you're just saying that in order for you to be able to take advantage of someone, because there's no better way to say it. So I'm going to say, hey, I'll do this according to the Most High. I'm going to do this for you, and you don't do anything on it. Keep reading.
Verse 8, remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy.
So the Most High said, remember the Sabbath day. Hey, give me Genesis on the Sabbath, the last chapter 2, verses 1. Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. That's the reason why he said remember. because he knew our people were going to forget it. So the Sabbath day to the Most High is the only day of the week that he gave a name for. All the days of the week we know now are all European, Roman, Greco-Roman, which on another level represents the God itself. A lot of people don't know and understand. But the Most High said out of all the days of the week is to remember the Sabbath day, the seventh day of the week. Get that for me.
Genesis chapter 2, verse 1. Thus the heavens and the earth were finished, and all the hosts of them.
So we know the Most High finished all the creation. Keep reading.
Verse 2. And on the seventh day.
Read it again.
And on the seventh day.
On the seventh day, what?
The Most High ended his work which he had made. And he rested on the seventh day from all his work which he had made. And the Most High blessed the seventh day.
He blessed the seventh day. So when they come about Sunday, which we know is the first day of the week, we're going by what the Bible says, what God said on what day he hallowed. Keep reading.
And sanctified it, because that in it he had rested from all his work which the Most High created and made.
So that's why we follow the Sabbath, because the Most High told us to follow the Sabbath. It's not part of a religion. It's not part of like you have like Seventh-day Adventists, like you have some of the other religions that just go on the Sabbath day just because, you know, we follow it because the Most High said follow it.
Isaiah chapter 58, verse 13. If thou turn away thy foot from the Sabbath, from doing thy pleasure on my holy day.
So it said, if you turn your foot from doing your pleasure. So our pleasure is what we doing out now. If you want to go around and shop, if you want to go out, I feel like going to play basketball today, I want to go out and watch a movie or something like that, that's doing your own pleasure. Keep reading.
From doing thy pleasure on my holy day, and call the Sabbath a delight, the holy of the Lord, honorable, and shall honor him.
So if you respect this, if you respect the Sabbath day, keep reading.
Not doing thy own ways, nor finding thy own pleasure, nor speaking thy own words, then shalt thou delight thyself in the Lord.
So that's how you love the Lord as well, if you keep his Sabbath. Let's let you know, if you worship the Most High as we're doing right now, when you go to church, when you congregate, when you go and feed the homeless, when you're going to help somebody in need on the Sabbath day, that's when you know that you have a delight in the Most High. Keep reading.
Okay. No, keep reading.
Verse 14. Then thou shalt delight thyself in the Lord, and I will cause thee to ride upon the high places of the earth, and feed thee with the heritage of Jacob thy father.
And feed thee with the heritage of Jacob our father. Now our heritage is our homeland, which is not here. You understand and know our ancestors came here through slavery. Our homeland is over in Jerusalem. But if we follow his Sabbath, keep his commandments, we're going to get all those promises. That's just in one day, one commandment. Just imagine following all of them according to the Most High, according to Christ. How much you have to gain from that.
Yeah, because perpetual.
Okay. All right. Here's more on the Sabbath. Just one more on the Sabbath.
Exodus chapter 31, verse 12. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Speak thou also unto the children of Israel, saying, Verily my Sabbath ye shall keep, for it is a sign between me and you throughout your generations.
So that's another reason why we keep the commandments. We keep the Sabbath day, because it's a sign between us and the Most High. All right, that's how he communicate to us. It's through the Sabbaths. Keep reading.
That ye may know that I am the Lord that doth sanctify you. Verse 14. Ye shall keep the Sabbath therefore, for it is holy unto you. Everyone that defileth shall surely be put to death. For whosoever doeth any work therein, that soul shall be cut off from among his people.
So we understand and know that initially, that when our people came out of Egypt, that on the Sabbath day you couldn't do no work at all. But we know and understand in the New Testament, according to Christ, when Christ came, he said you can work, but it has to be for righteousness. Actually, get that from me. Because you can still do what's right on this holy day, but it's not doing your own thing. You're actually helping someone else. Keep reading.
6 days, verse 15, 6 days may work be done, but in the seventh is the Sabbath of rest, holy to the Lord. Whosoever doeth any work on the Sabbath day, he shall surely be put to death. Verse 16, wherefore the children of Israel shall keep the Sabbath to observe the Sabbath throughout the generation for a perpetual covenant.
Perpetual. Perpetual means always, forever. So when someone tells or explains to you saying that the Sabbath, or the Lord's Day, they call it's on Sunday, they're lying. Like I said, the truth is not in them if they don't keep the commandments. Because we just read a perpetual covenant means forever. It doesn't mean it doesn't stop. This is the words of the Most High. Keep reading.
You got this. That's the one where he. 12. Matthew 12. That's right.
Yeah.
Start at verse 1.
Start at verse 1.
Matthew chapter 12, verse 1. And at that time Christ went on the Sabbath day through the corn, and his disciples were an hungered, and began to pluck the ears of corn and to eat. But when the Pharisees saw it, they said unto him, behold, thy disciples do that which is not lawful to do upon the Sabbath day.
So we know and understand that Christ, with the disciples walking through the field, they grabbed some corn to eat. Understanding that these Pharisees are what you would call who were for the church, who worked at the temple, priests, things like that, who were under the understanding of the old law. Keep reading.
Jump down to verse 10. And behold, there was a man which had his hand withered, and they asked him, saying, is it lawful to heal on the Sabbath days, that they may cause to accuse him? And he said unto them, what man shall there be among you that shall have one sheep? And if it fall into the pit on the Sabbath day, will he not lay hold on it and lift it out?
So Christ is asking the question, if you see somebody hurt or struggling or in trouble, even if it's the Sabbath day, would you just gonna let them struggle, or are you gonna help them out? Keep reading.
Verse 12, how much then is a man better than a sheep? Wherefore it is lawful to do well on the Sabbath days.
So even like we're out here, this is a work, even though it's a day of rest as well. But if you're doing something that's according to the Most High for his people, then it's still part of the Sabbath day. Okay, all right. One more.
The book of Mark, chapter 6, verse 2. And when the Sabbath day was come, he began to teach in the synagogue. And many hearing him were astonished, saying, from whence had this man these things? And what wisdom is this which is given unto him, that even such mighty works are wrought by his hands?
So we understand and know that Christ, the synagogue is another word for a church, that he taught on the Sabbath day. And that's what our preachers should be following. And that's the first thing. If you do that the Sabbath, that can start healing a lot of things. As we just read in Isaiah 58, that if we call his day a delight, he's going to bless us. Okay. No problem, no problem. All right.
Hey, like I said, we got
Is the time on there? The service time. Anybody got a pen? We write our service time on there as well. It's not on there? Huh? Okay, all right.
You need another one?
Okay, we're gonna write it down for you, brother. All right. You got the time on there? Okay. Yeah. All right, brother. Okay. All right. Will do. Love you too. Bless you, brother.
Really breaks my heart. Cause we've been lied to, misled for years, calling out to the Most High on his trail of tears.